amazing.
Wild boars are wreaking havoc on fields, striking fear into farmers. But standing still is not an option. With their strength and wild instincts, wild boars are becoming a nightmare for rural communities. They invade fields, tear up the soil, and destroy crops in just hours, causing millions of dollars in damage. Corn and rice fields nearing harvest are devastated, leaving farmers in despair. Beyond crops, wild boars threaten the safety of humans and animals alike. Will the boars escape? Comment number 1 and follow to the end to see how this dramatic hunt unfolds. In the morning, we arrived at the hilly region of Provence where fresh signs of wild boars had been spotted. Upon arrival, the team didn't hesitate. They quickly coordinated with the hunting dogs and sprang into action. Without a moment's pause, Finn's teammates charged toward the noise driven purely by instinct. Before them, a massive wild boar tried to break free from the encircling dogs, but it was too late. A decisive shot rang out, cutting off any chance of escape. Then came a barrage of gunfire. Each shot was a victory. Each fallen boar symbolized the restoration of peace to the land once ravaged. Mountain lions have increasingly become a significant threat to rural communities as attacks on livestock have become more frequent. To address this issue, intervention measures have been implemented to create a balance between protecting human lives and ensuring the safety of wildlife. Adjusting the distribution of mountain lions through conservation and control programs has helped minimize conflicts while also allowing local people to maintain a stable income from agriculture and livestock farming. An outstandingly successful strategy for controlling mountain lions has been implemented by a team of hunters renowned for their ability to track and reduce the number of mountain lions safely. The use of firearms and hunting dogs has become the primary method due to its precision and effectiveness. With a success rate of up to 95%, this approach has proven highly effective in minimizing the threat posed by these predators, especially in areas where they pose significant risk to communities and agriculture. When detecting the signs of a mountain lion, hunters must approach with subtlety and patience. With their excellent camouflage skills, mountain lions can easily detect any disturbance. Hunters use binoculars and GPS devices to observe and track their prey from a distance, ensuring accuracy and effectiveness in the hunt. Speed, firepower, relentless pursuit. Every moment captured in raw, unedited footage by professional hunters. No hiding place, no second chances, just instinct and a life-or-death battle between man and beast. Are you ready to join this fight for survival? Start now. The first stop is the Pendus mountain range, a rugged terrain with treacherous landscapes, dense forests, and a rich ecosystem, a perfect maze for wild boars to hide. At 5:00 a.m., Ronan starts his trusty truck gliding silently through the cold morning mist toward the mountain's base. Without delay, he and his hunting dog plunge into the deep forest, tracking the beast the locals call the Shadow. After over 30 minutes of pursuit in the bone-chilling cold, a dark shadow suddenly charged, aiming straight for Ronan. In less than a minute, it was nearly upon him. Would you stay calm enough to pull the trigger in that moment? Ronan didn't hesitate. A precise, decisive shot. A mark left on the Pendus range, but the journey isn't over yet. Felix's team, binoculars in hand, waited in silence. The stillness was suffocating. 15 minutes passed, then a dark shadow glided through the valley. Felix held his breath, eyes locked through the scope. The moment the target was in range, a gentle trigger, pull a clean shot, and the beast collapsed onto the grass without a sound. Leaving Texas, we head to the Corsica mountain range, where the terrain is constrained by dense thickets and rugged hills. Lewis's team arrives early, fully equipped, and moves to a pre-marked position with a clear view of the opposite hillside. As they scan the brush, a familiar silhouette emerges. A wild boar is sniffing through the grass, foraging for food. Lewis tightens his grip on the rifle and pulls the trigger. A clean, decisive shot. The journey takes us to Gorsky Kauter, a rugged land of dense forests and interwoven hills, a natural maze perfect for wild boars to hide. Scott and his pack of hunting dogs ascend the hill, weaving through rocky paths and thick underbrush. Within 10 minutes, the dogs bark ferociously near a thicket. Suddenly, a wild boar bursts out like a bullet. A shot rings out the moment it leaves its cover. An ambush over in a flash. No time to think, no chance to escape. The excited barking of dogs echoes through the forest. The target has been found. A dark shadow bolts through the underbrush, frantically seeking escape, but it's too late. The moment the beast breaks into the open, Stephen fires. Would you want to join these hunts? If yes, leave comment number 2. If no, leave number 5. Every October, David Lee Carter's farm in Tellico Plains is bustling with the corn harvest. However, this year, the joy of the harvest turned into a nightmare as wild boars relentlessly ravaged the fields night after night. Watching months of hard work trampled my team of hunters, and I couldn't stand by. We made a plan to hunt them down without rest, setting out at dawn in our familiar hunting truck, heading toward Carter's vast fields. As dawn broke, we loaded our gear onto the truck and rolled out to the rendezvous point. Upon arrival, the team fanned out, moving to pre-planned ambush positions. 20 minutes passed in silence. Not a sound, not a sign. Then, as I crouched behind a thick bush, a massive wild boar, easily 500 pounds, burst out of nowhere just meters away. A sharp gunshot sliced through the stillness, followed by another. The beast collapsed motionless. A strong start. In the neighboring field, Leon also spotted a target. Finally, the herd of boars appeared. Leon quietly chambered around, locked onto his target, and pulled the trigger. A deafening shot echoed across the field. The remaining boars scattered in panic, disappearing into the brush. Only a massive boar remained lying motionless on the ground. In John's area, a tense chase unfolds. With his experience and sharp shooting skills, he swiftly takes down his target. The hunting dogs shine again, flushing a massive wild boar from the brush. It charges straight at us, but I'm ready. I raise my rifle aim and fire. The boars here are fiercer than ever, some even charging head-on. Luckily, our team stays calm, reacting quickly and precisely in every situation. Farmers in despair. Beyond crops, wild boars threaten the safety of humans and animals alike. Will the boars escape comment number 1 and follow to the end to see how this dramatic hunt unfolds? At the same time, on the eastern side of the field, Ram spotted the silhouette of a wild boar lurking in the dry brush. A few broke out in panic, trying to escape the hunting dogs. Gunfire erupted amid the chaos, dropping 2 boars instantly. About 5 minutes later, another charged out unexpectedly. Without hesitation, Ram took it down with a single shot. As dusk fell, we hurriedly tracked the remaining boars. The field grew quiet with only the rustle of grass underfoot. Suddenly, a wild boar burst from the bushes. It was fleeing something but chose the wrong direction. A single shot tore through the silence. The boar collapsed in the tall grass. This time it didn't escape.
Bekle, bak. Çek abi, çek voltu çek. Köpeğin.
Wild boars, massive, sometimes weighing hundreds of pounds, have long been a nightmare for rural communities with their relentless destruction. Traditional defenses like fences or traps can't contain these cunning, stubborn beasts. So only one option remains: hunting, and now a 7-hour pursuit deep in the forest begins. As dawn broke, our team followed a narrow trail venturing deep into the forest. Suddenly, the dogs barked ferociously, a clear signal. We picked up the pace, fanning out to encircle the target. I chambered around and fired at the signal. The boar was taken down cleanly in an instant. A perfect start, right. After dropping the first one, I quickly reloaded, ready for anything. From somewhere above, another wild boar charged down from a ridge. No hesitation, I pulled the trigger. One shot was enough. The beast collapsed on the spot. In the stillness of the ancient forest, the sound of wild boars crashing through the underbrush was unmistakable. We didn't rush. We waited patiently until they were in our sights. Then we fired. The gunshots echoed through the forest. Moments later, another boar lay motionless on the forest floor. Moving forward about 150 meters ahead, we took cover and watched, guns loaded, ready to go. After 10 minutes, the sound of heavy hooves thundered closer. I adjusted my scope and fired. The boar dropped instantly. A clean shot, pure satisfaction. But we weren't done. We reloaded, prepped for the next target. As we crossed slopes covered in dry leaves, a herd of boars charged like a storm. Staying sharp, we closed in fast. Shots rang out and an adult went down in a flash. I caught up to a stray As the team savors the thrill of victory, a strange noise erupts from the bushes ahead. Suddenly, a massive wild boar charges out at breakneck speed. Instantly, I raise my rifle aim at the beast and fire without hesitation. Only then do we get a close look, a colossal boar weighing 350 kilograms. After that heart-pounding surprise, we press on with the search. Every so often, more boars appear in our sights, unaware they're being tracked. With crisp gunshots one by one, boars of all sizes fall to the ground. Without delay, he and his hunting dog plunge into the deep forest, tracking the beast the locals call the Shadow. After After about an hour, we decided to move to a lower, flatter area to increase our chances of spotting targets from a distance. The hunting dogs proved their worth here. With fewer obstacles, they could easily pick up scents and pursue prey. However, with sparse trees and little cover, we had to be extremely cautious and completely silent. Wild boars are highly alert. If we weren't well hidden, they could easily detect us and bolt immediately. With a precise shot, the bullet hit its mark and the boar dropped instantly. My God, I never thought I could land a perfect shot like that. To avoid alerting other boars, we had to take low positions, but the scorching heat of the Texas wilderness left everyone drenched in sweat, making the hunt more grueling and intense than ever. Scanning the distance, we spotted a familiar dark shadow. As it started to run, the hunter beside me fired a confident shot. Just a few steps later, the boar collapsed. More and more boars charged out of the forest like a storm. Amid the chaos, we fired relentlessly. When the dust settled, several boars lay still in the deep forest. Where I live, wild boars aren't just wildlife, they're a nightmare every harvest season. Just a few days ago, a rice field near harvest was completely destroyed in hours. The hard work of my family and neighbors gone. When no one listens to the farmer's cries for help, there's only one option left. We take up our guns and fight. Under the scorching sun, the boars appeared in growing numbers, moving in packs. This called for a solid plan to maximize efficiency. We kept our fingers steady on the trigger's eyes, locked on every movement, determined not to miss a shot. Then the moment came. The team fired in unison. A storm of bullets rained down, taking out a large number, but a few still escaped. From a distance, that familiar sound echoed again. They were back. I quickly got into position, aimed true. Rapid shots rang out. Everything seemed to go smoothly, but the tension was very real. Once wary monkeys have become so accustomed to and dependent on food from tourists that they now view nearby residential areas as ideal foraging spots. As a result, they've begun expanding their territory, venturing deeper into human spaces in search of their next easy meal. Don't chase it. Are they aggressive? I don't know, come here. Such scenes are becoming more common as monkeys no longer hesitate to approach humans for food. Not a sign. Then as I crouch behind a thick bush, a massive wild Each trigger pull brought intense pressure and a surge of adrenaline. We kept sweeping the area and suddenly more targets appeared. They were fast and agile, not easy to approach, but with experience our team took them down with sharp, decisive shots. Today's hunt was intense but unforgettable. Despite the challenges, we ended with results to be proud of. Though it tried to escape, it couldn't outrun the bullets chasing it. My God, the number of wild boars here is truly countless. Every few minutes we stumbled upon a new herd, but they weren't easy to deal with. It took nearly a minute of continuous shooting to bring down 3 in the swirling dust. The rest fled, vanishing into the forest before we could react. Even a lone boar trying to escape didn't deter us. We pursued relentlessly. Facing the wild boar threat, the hunters stood firm, coordinating closely and using skill and strategy to protect crops and communities. Patience, precision in every shot, and an unyielding spirit in the face of challenges are the core values. This lesson reminds us that thorough preparation, unity, and decisive action lead to success when confronting obstacles. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Please support us with a like and follow. Goodbye and see you in the next videos. The roar of predators echoes from the forest. Join us in this video to explore how hunters in Australia deal with them at poultry farms. Fox attacks on chickens have become a serious problem, causing significant losses for farmers. Are you ready to join us? If so, leave a comment with the number 1. The designated hunting season runs from late fall to early spring, when food scarcity tends to drive monkeys further into human areas. Experienced trackers identify monkey presence by looking for footprints, overturned trash cans, and broken branches. All right, we're recording for spotting. Hunters rely on high-powered binoculars like the Vortex Razor HD, providing clarity at long distances, allowing them to spot monkey. However, hunting monkeys presents unique challenges due to their high intelligence and social group behavior. Monkeys quickly adapt, often sensing when they're being tracked and skillfully escaping. In one case at Costa del Sol, a hunting team reported that monkeys learned to recognize their vehicles and would scatter as soon as they approached, making the task nearly impossible without advanced camouflage tactics. Their intelligence combined with agility and tendency to live in groups makes each hunt a test of patience and determination. Residents in affected areas of Australia have turned to using traps to address the situation. They employ simple yet effective traps placed in areas frequented by foxes, such as forest edges or near farms. The traps are carefully set with bait to attract foxes, increasing the likelihood of capturing them. Thanks to this measure, the number of foxes caught has significantly increased, better protecting farms and residential areas from attacks by these animals, thereby reducing losses for farmers. Proceeds from hunting licenses and rewards have helped offset the financial losses suffered by farmers and residents due to monkey-related damages. With top hunters making progress in managing the monkey population, a simple like or word of encouragement can go a long way in supporting their efforts. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Please help us with a like and subscribe to support our channel. Goodbye and see you in the next video. Sharp, we closed in fast. Shots rang out and an adult went down in a flash. Additionally, harsh weather and complex terrain increase the difficulty of setting traps. According to statistics, each year in states like Queensland, hunters successfully capture around 15,000 foxes, but this requires great patience and high skill from participants. They must contend with adverse conditions such as heavy rain, strong winds, and rugged terrain, which make tracking and trapping more challenging. In fox control activities in Australia, many people use hunting dogs to increase efficiency. These dogs are specially trained to track and chase foxes, helping hunters locate and capture them more quickly. They use their keen sense of smell to detect fox traces, assisting hunters in tracking through dense forests or grasslands. However, the number of foxes each person is allowed to capture is typically limited to 3 to 8 per day to ensure controlled operations and avoid negative impacts on the fox population. This regulation helps maintain ecological balance, preventing excessive decline of the species while protecting biodiversity. At night, hunters require advanced techniques and skills. While foxes have reduced visibility during this time, hunters must also be more cautious in their actions. Accurate shooting skills become crucial due to low light, making target identification difficult. They use equipment like night vision goggles to assist ensuring safety and effectiveness. Hunters use assistive devices like infrared lights or night vision goggles to enhance visibility in the dark. At the same time, they must remain alert and patient as nighttime hunting requires high precision and thorough preparation to avoid startling the prey. Every movement must be carefully calculated to ensure safety and effectiveness. The use of traps and guns to address foxes in Australia has yielded positive results in reducing the damage caused by the species to the livestock industry. Each year, approximately 20,000 fox attacks cause significant losses to farms, along with around 1-200 incidents of attacks on humans. These measures not only protect poultry but also reduce risks to the community. Hunters are thoroughly trained to use equipment safely adhering to strict regulations. Monitoring systems are also implemented to ensure hunting does not disrupt ecological balance, protecting the environment in the long term. Do you think these methods are reasonable for controlling foxes? If so, leave a comment with the number 2, if not, leave the number 5.
On that second blast, little fox. Someone there for predator.
Additionally, the bow and arrow is a traditional hunting tool that reduces noise but requires high skill and patience, making it less effective for some. Bow hunting demands greater precision as hunters must hit the target at closer range compared to using a gun. Without government support, fox control could become more challenging, requiring communities to collaborate closely to address the issue effectively. Flexible measures are strictly enforced to protect crops and property. Licensed firearms include the Ruger Precision and Tikka T3X rifles, renowned for their accuracy and effectiveness in hunting. These rifles enable hunters to eliminate targets from a distance, especially in critical situations. Additionally, bows from brands like Matthews Archery and PSE Archery are favored for their low noise and flexibility in wooded areas. Hunters must regularly inspect their equipment to ensure safety. Strict monitoring systems are also enforced, requiring periodic reports to manage operations effectively, minimizing risks to the community and the environment.
Different angle.
Got him. Heck of a shot.
Pretty good size, too.
However, only hunters who complete a 9-month training course held every 3 years are allowed to participate. Hunters can face fines up to $15,000 and have their licenses revoked for violating regulations. Only individuals aged 21 and over are eligible to participate. Hunters receive subsidies to cover registration fees, equipment, and transportation to hunting areas. Hunting must be conducted at a minimum distance of 100 meters to ensure safety. Hunting too close can pose risks, especially during seasons when foxes may carry rabies.
Okay.
However, some oppose the use of weapons, arguing that they can pose dangers to humans and the environment if not tightly controlled. Critics are concerned about the potential increase in community violence and unintended consequences from weapon use, especially when improperly managed. They argue that while protecting property is necessary, safer and more sustainable alternatives should be sought, such as enhanced wildlife control and collaboration with experts to develop long-term solutions. Measures like electric fences, sound-based repellents, and ecological research are proposed to reduce conflicts with foxes while protecting biodiversity and ensuring community safety. The importance of balancing property protection with sustainable wildlife management is critical. Farmers and hunters in Australia have employed measures like trapping, using hunting dogs and firearms to deal with foxes, but they must adhere to strict regulations to ensure safety and environmental protection. Instead of relying solely on weapons, studying animal behavior and collaborating with communities, and the government can provide long-term solutions, more effectively reducing conflicts between humans and wildlife. Thank you for watching the entire video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe to support our channel. As the number of ostriches in Australia continues to rise, the risks to humans are becoming alarming. These giant birds can reach terrifying speeds of up to 70 km/h, fast enough to chase vehicles on the road. If you also see this as a serious issue and want to raise awareness together, comment the number 1 so we can find safer solutions. Recent viral videos capturing ostriches chasing cyclists on rural roads highlight a significant threat to public safety. Weighing up to 140 kilons, a collision with an ostrich could cause severe accidents for both vehicles and pedestrians. Statistics show that ostrich-related accidents result in damages of up to 800,000 AUD annually, covering vehicle repairs, medical bills, and economic losses. Controlling the ostrich population has now become an urgent challenge that must be addressed immediately. The situation doesn't end there. Ostriches reproduce at an astonishing rate, with each female capable of laying up to 15 eggs per season. This leads to an 8% annual population growth. At this rate, ostrich-related accidents are projected to increase, posing a challenging safety issue for the community. To control the ostrich population boom, the Australian government has implemented strictly regulated hunting programs. Hunters must adhere to stringent legal requirements to ensure safety and maintain ecological balance. They are required to possess a valid firearms license, which is only issued after passing a thorough background check verifying no criminal record or mental health issues. Additionally, firearms safety training courses are a prerequisite, equipping hunters with the skills to use firearms safely and effectively. A separate hunting license issued by wildlife management authorities in states like New South Wales, Victoria, and Tasmania is mandatory for participation.
It's so beautiful.
In the Flinders Ranges, South Australia, ostrich hunting is permitted only from April to July during the non-breeding season to effectively control the population. Hunters typically use large-caliber rifles like the .308 Winchester or Remington Model 700, favored for their precision and power, enabling swift takedowns in the wild. A professional hunter can eliminate 8 to 12 ostriches per day, equating to roughly 500 ostriches over a 40-day hunting season annually. To participate legally, hunters must meet strict standards, including a 28-day background check, waiting period completion of safety training, and thorough knowledge of hunting regulations. They are also encouraged to purchase public liability insurance to mitigate risks. Since the implementation of these stringent regulations in 2020, ostrich population management has seen significant progress. Over the past 5 years, the controlled ostrich hunting program has reduced approximately 4,000 ostriches in key areas like New South Wales and Victoria. Hunting tactics often involve long-range ambushes, leveraging natural terrain to avoid detection. Precise shot placement is critical, ensuring quick and ethical kills while adhering to legal and ethical guidelines. Hunters are required to avoid overhunting, targeting only healthy adult ostriches to maintain ecological balance. Violating hunting regulations can result in severe penalties, including fines up to 40,000 AUD and potential imprisonment for repeat offenders, ensuring hunting activities remain within legal boundaries and support wildlife conservation. Since the implementation of regulations and hunter training programs in 2020, dangerous ostrich encounters have decreased to approximately 600 incidents per year, demonstrating the effectiveness of these measures in protecting human safety and maintaining the ecosystem. Compared to hunting ostriches with firearms, aerial hunting shows a significant difference in efficiency and cost. Are you interested in hunting ostriches with firearms? If yes, comment the number 2. If not, leave the number 5. Aerial ostrich hunting primarily takes place from August to October, culling approximately 1,200 ostriches annually. However, this method requires high fuel and equipment costs, so it is conducted only once a year, mainly on the ground to optimize expenses and minimize negative impacts on the environment and wildlife. After hunting, ostrich meat in Australia is fully utilized, playing a significant role in the economy. Ostrich meat, rich in protein and low in cholesterol, is processed into high-end dishes such as steaks, sausages, meatballs, and other delicacies popular in upscale restaurants. This industry not only generates substantial revenue, but also creates jobs, boosts exports, and promotes Australian cuisine. The ostrich meat industry generates an estimated 12 million AUD in annual revenue, receiving strong community support due to its nutritional value and unique flavor. However, rigorous quality inspections of the meat before use are critical to ensure food safety, prevent hygiene risks, and protect consumer health. The importance of sustainable wildlife management ensures both human safety and ecosystem preservation. Controlling the ostrich population through legal, strictly regulated hunting not only reduces traffic accidents but also supports the economy via the meat processing industry. Viewers should recognize that balancing human and natural needs requires responsible actions, legal compliance, and environmental respect to avoid unintended consequences. Thank you for following. If you enjoyed this post, don't forget to share and stay tuned for more. Goodbye and see you next time.